What if I told you that right now, in this very moment, there's a version of you that already knows every answer, already lives in peace, already holds the courage you've been searching for? That version isn't in some far-off heaven or locked away in a philosophy book. It's here, inside you, vibrating at a frequency you can learn to tune into. Today, you'll discover how to shift from the static of doubt and fear into the clear channel of your higher self, the most authentic, powerful version of you. Part 1. What is the higher self? The higher self isn't a mythical figure. It's not a guardian angel hovering above you or a fantasy persona you have to become. In quantum terms, it's the field of your most coherent possibilities, the part of your consciousness unclouded by fear, ego, or limitation. Imagine a radio station that's always broadcasting pure clarity and love. The only reason you don't hear it is because you're tuned into the wrong frequency, the static of old beliefs, emotional turbulence, and scattered attention. When mystics speak of the soul and scientists speak of coherence in the heart and brain, they're pointing to the same truth. There is a signal of wholeness inside you. The higher self is not something you create, it's something you remember. Why we lose the signal? Think of a child, pure, open, radiating energy. That's the natural broadcast of the higher self. But life layers static on top of it: criticism, trauma, social conditioning, endless pressure to be someone. Each of these adds noise. Over time, you mistake the static for who you are. You identify with fear, with anger, with doubt. This disconnection explains why you feel stuck in repeating patterns, why you hear an inner critic louder than your inner wisdom, why you sometimes sense a deeper calling but can't quite access it. It's not because the higher self is gone, it's because the dial has drifted. Frequency as reality quantum physics tells us that reality responds to vibration. Every thought, every emotion, every belief is a frequency. When you live in fear, you radiate fear. When you live in gratitude, you radiate abundance. Your higher self exists at a frequency of coherence, peace, clarity, alignment. Tuning into it means you literally shift your brainwaves, your heart rhythm, even your electromagnetic field. The old worldview said, work harder, control more. The new paradigm says, shift your frequency and the reality around you reorganizes. That's why connecting to the higher self is not just spiritual fluff. It's the most practical thing you can do. Breath, the first tuning dial. Close your eyes and notice your breath. Chances are it's shallow. When the breath is shallow, the mind is scattered. The higher self needs a coherent signal, and breath is how you clear the static. Try this. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Do it again. Within 3 cycles, your heart and brain begin syncing. This coherence is the doorway. Breath is not just oxygen, it's frequency management. Every slow exhale tells your nervous system, I am safe, I am open, I can receive. Emotion, the amplifier. Once the breath steadies, emotion steps in. Emotion is energy in motion. It's the amplifier of frequency. Gratitude, compassion, and joy broadcast the higher self signal loudly. Fear, anger, and shame distort it. Ask yourself, what emotion am I rehearsing daily? Because whatever you rehearse becomes your baseline station. Your higher self isn't found in panic, it's felt in coherence. Cultivate even 5 minutes of genuine gratitude each morning, and you change the frequency of your entire day. Thought. The programmer. Breath is the dial. Emotion is the amplifier. Thought is the programmer. Most people live with a loop of old code. I'm not enough. I'll never make it. Things never work out for me. These thoughts are static signals. The higher self can't speak through that noise. Here's the shift. Catch the loop and rewrite it. Instead of I can't, you practice I am becoming. Instead of I'm lost, you anchor I am guided. These aren't affirmations you chant blindly. They're reprogramming codes. Each upgraded thought pulls you closer to the higher self's frequency. The morning ritual to collapse reality. Every morning before touching your phone, sit for 5 minutes. Breathe slowly. Generate gratitude until you feel it in your chest. Then visualize the version of you who is already living as the higher self. Confident, clear, radiant. Ask, what would this version of me feel right now? Then lock that feeling in with a mantra. I am tuned to my highest frequency. When you do this daily, you're not waiting for life to change to feel aligned. You're broadcasting alignment first, collapsing the reality that matches it. Begin with a relatable struggle, feeling stuck, waking up in anxiety, hearing a voice of doubt louder than intuition. Insert short personal style anecdotes. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads. One voice says you're not enough, the other is silent but calm. Which one do you tune into? Quantum plus science layer? Bring in heart-brain coherence research, Heart Math Institute. Mention brainwave states, beta equals static, alpha/theta equals tuning into the higher self. Talk about EM field frequency, how emotions literally radiate measurable energy. Emotional anchors describe how it feels to shift into higher self. Lighter, expansive, like dropping a heavy backpack. Contrast with the pain of disconnection, looping thoughts, self-sabotage, feeling empty even in success. Practical application. How to tune in while walking, before a big meeting, or when triggered. How relationships transform when you show up aligned. How synchronicities appear as feedback that you're tuned in. Extended closing, a cinematic ending. One day you'll look back and realize that this was the moment you remembered who you are, that your higher self wasn't a stranger, it was always you, waiting for you to return. Higher self in daily triggers. It's easy to feel spiritual when you're meditating. The real test is when someone cuts you off in traffic, when your boss criticizes you, when fear creeps in at night. These are not interruptions to your practice. They are the practice. Every trigger is an invitation. Will you tune into static or shift into coherence? Imagine taking one deep breath before reacting. That single breath reopens the channel. The feedback loop of synchronicity. When you begin living from the higher self, life responds. You'll notice small synchronicities. The right call at the right time, a phrase you needed to hear, a door opening just when another closes. These aren't coincidences. They're feedback. The universe is a mirror, reflecting the frequency you broadcast. The more coherent your signal, the clearer the reflection. The shadow and integration. But here's the truth. Tuning into the higher self doesn't mean ignoring your shadow. The parts of you that feel fear, doubt, anger, they are not enemies. They are fragments asking to be integrated. The higher self doesn't destroy the shadow. It embraces it, listens to it, and transforms it. Healing is not about rejecting your lower frequencies, but tuning them upward into coherence. Embodiment. Living as frequency. The higher self isn't just a state you visit in meditation. It's a lifestyle. Every meal you eat, every word you speak, every posture you hold, all of it broadcasts frequency. Embodiment means you don't just access your higher self, you walk as it. You smile as it. You work, love, and create as it. This is where spirituality stops being theory and becomes transformation. Higher self and destiny. You were born with a blueprint, a destiny encoded in vibration. The higher self is the compass pointing to it. When you're out of tune, you wander. When you're in tune, doors align. The opportunities that once felt random begin to form a pattern. Your path is not given to you. It's tuned into by frequency. So take this moment right now. Inhale, exhale, whisper within, I return to my highest frequency now, and feel the shift. Imagine that every step you take from here is guided. Every word you speak is aligned. Every breath is in coherence. Someday, years from now, you'll remember this moment, the day you chose to stop living in static and started tuning into your true frequency. You'll smile because you'll know the higher self was never far away. It was always you, waiting, broadcasting, ready. And now you're listening. And so, here you are. You've walked with me through the breath, through the emotion, through the thought patterns. through the frequency codes that awaken the higher self. But the truth is, this was never about learning something new. It was about remembering. The higher self has always been there, patient, silent, like a lighthouse waiting on a dark shore. Every time you doubted yourself, every time you spiraled in fear, every time you thought you were alone, that light never went out. It was there, calling, waiting for you to tune the dial back home. Now you know how. Through breath, you clear the static. Through gratitude, you amplify the signal. Through new thought patterns, you program a new broadcast. And each time you repeat this practice, each time you return, the station gets stronger. Until one day, it's not just a glimpse. It's your baseline reality. Think about this. Your higher self is not some future version of you. It is you, right now, vibrating at your purest potential. Every moment you choose coherence, compassion, and clarity, you step into that self. You become the one who is guided, the one who creates, the one who is free. There will still be days when the static creeps back in,